I think what I liked the most about Warrior 5 was I learned a lot about myself. I learned some of my weaknesses that I fall back to, and I think that's eating, and that's eating when I'm stressed and going to the refrigerator, or going to the chocolate, or going to the ice cream, and I realized that I don't need that, and I'm better than that, and I want to be healthier for myself. And so the things that I learned were personal things for myself that made me a better person, and then and really made me want to be better for my family and for my wife, and number one, for myself, So I loved it because I learned a lot about myself. I loved every aspect of it. I loved all the tools. I loved the group atmosphere in working together. To me, that's familiar territory in playing on a lot of sports teams and having people that may be a weak link that day or that week. And I was that weak link at times, and then the others in the class had their weak leaks, their weeks that where they didn't step up and they didn't do that. And so to me, I think it's important to band together as a group of individuals, but yet you're doing some individual goals. And so I think ultimately one of the biggest things that we probably could have had is we could have had more people in the class, and I think we had groups and people that were committed, and right towards the beginning of it, I think kind of dropped out. But the 6 of us that were in this class, it was awesome, and to me, I feel like we banded together, and we had a lot of text messages back and forth, and I feel like we uplifted each other and we pushed each other to new limits. And I think having a larger group only adds more people and more ideas and more flavor to the whole system.
Dynamic,
But I think it was perfect. I think the biggest success for me was again, I think learning about myself and learning that I am able to do things and I am able to accomplish goals that I have set. There's been times when I haven't accomplished things, and that can bring you down, and the stresses of life and the stresses of marriage and children and everything else. But to me, this was something that was important to me and something that I wanted. And I'm glad that I was able to do it and set my mind to it, and have some fears of not wanting to do those, have a snake around my neck and eating those tomatoes. That to me I did not want to do, and I did not want to get anywhere near any of that. And so for me, I really learned a lot about myself. And the special thing for me that's I think unique for me in this class is having my wife right there with me, and having her buy-in and her support, because without her, I think there would have been times that I would have crumbled. But having her say, hey, let's get this instead, or I did that for her at the same time, I think for us, we were unified and we're even closer together as a couple than I think we have been in a long time, just by the fact that we pushed each other and we supported each other and we made sacrifices for each other. And this was a sacrifice to make this happen, but it was a well worth it sacrifice. And I wouldn't take it back, and I'd do it again every day of the week. So, and I think for anyone who does it on their own accord, I can't imagine going home and having the other person not be there in full support of it or wanting that buy-in, because they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
And me and Jen had our goals, but we also had our things that we did not want to have to do. And so it helped us push each other. And to me, I think I could have crumbled, and I think Jen could have crumbled without the support of each other. And to me, it was an awesome experience to be unified together. So, yeah. Oh, I think the hardest for me was putting down those those tendencies to turn to the cupboard and turn to the closet and go get those treats and go get those things that were soothing for those short times that tasted so delightful to me that I don't crave as much. I still have strong cravings for, some of those sweets and things. The one thing I don't crave, which is pretty amazing to me, is I don't crave fast food. And that was a big thing, a big fallback for us, that with our busy schedules, dinner time a lot of times ended up being a stop by a restaurant to grab it and bring it home. And we learned how to get creative and learned how to either purchase something at those places healthier and better, and we watched our calories and we made sure that we were eating lighter and greener and healthier when we had to make that choice, when we were unprepared and unplanned, and that's when you fail. And that's the big thing for me, is that this taught me and taught Jen that if you're unprepared and you don't plan, if you don't do that the night before, you're gonna crumble, and you're gonna crumble quick. So for me, it taught me a lot about preparation and getting ready for the next day, not just going to bed and laying my clothes out, but thinking through my whole day and every hour and how it was gonna all play out. So yeah, it was awesome. I think the biggest thing that I learned about myself is that I am a winner, and I can be successful, and I don't have to let life's troubles or life's experiences or the stresses of life bring me down. And I would say I had more highs during this 90 days than I had lows, which is fantastic. And to me, I want that, and I desire that. And this class and this experience brought more highs than it brought lows for me during that 90 days, not only for me, but in my own relationship with my wife. And I have more energy and I have more strength, and I feel like I'm just more alert and more able to do everyday tasks. And to me, I feel like a new person and a new man, and I feel like I'm ready to take on the world, And I feel like I'm ready to even go even farther and not just say, oh, I'm done. I've reached my goal. I looked at my, kind of the night before, as I had kind of those 3 and 4 hours in the gym, just kind of being on my own accord. That's really about the only time I had by myself. It was pretty peaceful time because the gym was not crowded, and I had a lot of kind of personal reflection time during that 3-4 hour stint there, just making sure I was doing what I needed to do. And as I had looked at my body and as I examined where I had come from and where I was at, I said, I'm not done yet. And I said, I still got some rolls and I still got some fat to get rid of and some tightening up to do. And to me, I says, no, I'm going to own this, and I'm gonna win even more than what I've done. So for me, that's what I learned, is that I can be a winner, and I will be a winner, and I'm going to keep going. I would recommend it to any person, 100%, any day of the week. And the reason why is because there's tools in this class, and there's tools that I'm going to take that will change my life and have changed my life. And I think that everybody should be exposed to this class, and everybody should have an opportunity to go through this. And the reason why is because it's life-changing. And to me, it's life-changing because it teaches you about yourself. It allows you to think about the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows that you have in your life, and those stresses. And the big thing for me was it made me realize that I'm not a victim. And a lot of times and I think everybody does at times, create yourself and make yourself in the victim self, and in that victim show where you can't get out of it, or you don't know what to do, and you blame other people, and this has taught me that my choices are my choices, and if I want to be a winner, I can be a winner, and if I want to be a loser or be a victim, then I can be that. But there's truly unhappiness, and there's truly down roads that don't lead to anywhere other than to nowhere. And if you make baby steps, 90 days of baby steps, you can get there. And that's what it took, was watching myself, trying to be methodical about it, and watching myself climb a little and stumble a little, and climb a little bit higher and stumble a little bit, but always keeping my head up and being positive through it. And that's what I learned through this, and I would recommend it again to anybody. If they're in a place where they're struggling emotionally, physically, they're overweight, they're out of shape, this is the class for them. And without this, I really would be nothing. And not saying that I wasn't something before this, but this has really empowered me with some great tools that'll change my life.